When people hear AI, people often think of robots, data, algorithms, something technical, and not fashion. But at Lindex, AI is helping us to getting closer to something really human. From strengthening our creative teams and understanding our customer better, and in the end, creating impact for both our people and our customers. We at Lindex see AI as a partner, a way to empower people. My name is Andrea Eriksson, and this is my partner and colleague, Johan Hedqvist. And we're so happy and delighted to share our journey that we're on right now. But before we get into that, I just want to give you a quick snapshot of Lindex, for those of you who don't know that. So Lindex is an international fashion company, and we have around 440 stores at the moment in 17 markets, since we actually launched Denmark last week. Thursday also, actually. We sell online also as well, both through our own e-commerce, but also via third-party partners around the globe. Today we're growing digitally, and not only through our own channels, but also together with global platforms, so that we, of course, can meet the customer wherever she wants to be met. And so, why did we start to use AI at Lindex? The short answer, because business needs pushed us there, and not the tech hype. So, a beautiful picture here with the data in different silos, of course generated through AI. But we had data everywhere. So we had like store sales here, we had the e-com shares over here, and also the loyalty program in a third system, and we just couldn't see the full picture. And AI helped us to connect the dots and spot the patterns, like why a customer would add 5 different items to the basket and then just suddenly disappear. As we know, retail is tough, and competition is fierce, so customers expect instant results. Mobile traffic kept on growing, but conversion didn't. So manually crunching the numbers, they took too long, and AI gave us a quick summary of the insights, so the team could spend time on fixing the problems instead of spotting them. Also, inside the company, we had a lot of work as well, and not that very glamorous work. Reading thousands of emails, translating product text into localized languages, digging through open comments. Necessary, but very slow. So, with AI, the boring part was automated, and people can focus on the fun part, and actually solve the problem and create value. And then we saw business opportunities. Some things we just simply couldn't do with AI, without AI. Our own pre-owned service in secondhand is a good example. Imagine a customer sending us thousands of unique secondhand garments. Everyone is different. Someone must identify these garments and categorize them and then tag them. And if human did this, then we would still be working on our last season collection. So, in short, too much data to ignore, and rising customers' expectations, bringing boring tasks to speed up. A new business models were needed, and with new tools. And that was why we started with AI. And wait, all right, maybe it's just a bit cool also.
Thank you. So, before we could start with our exciting AI projects, we had to do our homework, making sure the foundation was in place. First step, breaking down those silos that you just showed us. So, we created a central platform that consolidates sales, web traffic, loyalty, stock, everything. This involved both tech work and making sure that everyone knew where to find the data. We even created a SharePoint site called Our Data Explained, where we documented everything, the definitions, the KPIs, the naming conventions, and so on. We even have an AI chatbot that you can chat with to ask about all the data models and how they work. This is, AI is only as good as the data it gets. If we don't speak the same language internally, models won't understand us, or we won't understand them. So in the heart of all this is our common data platform, it looks like this. I won't go through all this in detail today. You can ask me later if you want to. But basically, we collect all the data from our different sources, from Contentsquare, Qualtrics, Web Analytics, and we extract it using Sling and Python. Send it to Snowflake, Azure, transform it in dbt, then we store it in our data warehouse, where we show all of the data in our Power BI or in a Streamlit application, and then we throw some machine learning and AI on top of all of this. Every team owns their own data, but we all follow the same rule. This means the data is safe, consistent, and reusable across Lindex for analysis, AI, and insights, without anyone having to reinvent the wheel. Before diving into AI, we had to think long-term. Technology moves fast, and we didn't want systems that age like milk. We want to build for the future. So first of all, the architecture. We went modular, API-based, microservices with systems that can easily be replaced or upgraded. Think of Lego rather than superglue. That means that our vendors add new features, we can simply add them to our system. We also selected the right partners. For example, companies like Contentsquare and Qualtrics invest heavily in AI, so we let them do all the hard work. Their AI assistants and machine learning models give customer insights straight out of the box. The same with Zendesk and Microsoft also throwing AI everywhere. We also have continuous improvements. Instead of massive IT projects, we adapt a more agile mindset, small regular updates and experiments. And finally, of course, scalability. Future-proof also means being able to grow. The more AI projects we launched, the more data we process, the more users we have. The platform have to keep up. Thanks to our cloud setup, we can handle bigger workloads without slowing down.
Yes. And then the next. So, where should we actually use AI? Once we had the basics in place, the big question was, where should we actually use the AI? And let's face it, there are endless of possibilities. You can throw almost anything at the AI these days, but that doesn't mean that you should. So let me give you a quick few things of highlights of the things that we did at Lindex. So, if I do like this, we have customer service and feedback. Every day, we receive thousands of emails, chats, and social messages from our customers. It's a true gold mine of insights. Thanks to AI, we can now make sense of it all in real time. Models summarize and clusters areas, and the teams can quickly hear the customer's voice loud and clear. So if many customers praise the fit of a new bra, the design and marketing team can amplify that success. Or if feedback highlights opportunities for improvement, say example, customer prefer a shipment option in a certain country, then our digital operations team can know that straight away and take action. Then we have content production. Thousands of products, multiple language, and endless copywriting. It's expensive and time-consuming. Here, AI can help us with a draft of product text and do the first translation. Our copywriters still edit and polish the texts, but instead of starting from zero, they get a head start. Then we have scaling secondhand. When customers hand in the clothes for resale, someone used to manually register them, like a red jacket, women, size medium, from who knows when. But with image recognition, we can match the photo to our product database.
And also web analytics, of course. Traditional web analytics tools told us what people did, but not why. Tools like Contentsquare and uses AI to spot friction points, like customers trying to zoom in on an image or this text is not clickable. That kind of automatic detection helps our UX and ecom team to fix what actually matters for conversions instead of guessing. We also had a pilot called Lindex Copilot that was basically a team chatbot for store staff. Instead of digging through the internet manual for 10 minutes, they can simply ask the chat. And finally, bringing flat sketches to life. When our designers make clothes, they make a sketch of how it should look. And before we even make the garments, we can transform those into photorealistic images on our own models. So the studio team can explore how a design might look from different angles or style context before physical sample even reaches our studio. So this really accelerates planning for photo shots and and the stylist to evaluate presentation ideas earlier in the process. So let's talk a little bit more about the co-pilot that we tested. The idea was very simple. Store staff have endless of questions from returns to POS quirks. Instead of searching through the FAQs or calling the store support, we wanted to give them a team colleague that they can just ask the questions to. So together with Microsoft, we built a prototype and fed it with all our internal manuals and routines and asked about 30 of our stores to try it out. So what did we learn? Well, asking the right questions is key. We realized the staff needed guidance on how to phrase questions for the AI to respond effectively. AI isn't magic, even if it sometimes feels like that. People also expected Google-like results, perfect results. The AI pointed to the right sources, but with so many manuals and guides, it was sometimes hard to navigate. And the Copilot only knew the data that we gave it, manuals and FAQs, but it didn't know stock levels or product info like sizing, care instructions, or material composition. So we clearly saw that the AI needed a broader knowledge base to be truly helpful. And the AI occasionally also produced answers that sounded convincing but weren't accurate, the classic hallucination problem. So the staff, of course, noticed immediately, and we learned how important it is to build consistency and reliability. Another tricky bit is the Lindex lingo, or retail lingo in general. Retail is full of unique terms. What are things actually called? Take the Swedish word trosvägg, usually translated to penny wall. What is that? Is that a formal term or is it something that we say internally at Lindex? Does anyone know what a penny wall is? Is it part of the penny? No. It's actually just a wall full of pennies. It's not more complicated than that. But it's very hard for an AI to know that. And imagine asking the AI to give merchandising advice if it doesn't know what it is.
Yes. So let's get a bit deeper into some cases and also AI in practice. So we have then secondhand, as mentioned before. So one of the coolest places where AI make a difference for us in our kids and baby assortment is the secondhand service. Every item, as I mentioned, is unique in size, condition, season, and history. So here is how it works. So we get in the item, we take a photo, and the AI matches then the picture against our product database, which means that we get the product data instantly with the name, the pack shot, what year, which season it was sold, and even the price. But the really cool part here is that AI doesn't just recognize which product it once was. It compares it to what it looks right now. Has the color faded? Is a hood missing? Has someone shortened the sleeves? Or have sewed on a patch? Without this, listing thousands of second-hand items would be a nightmare. With AI, we can scale, and customer can shop second-hand with the same confidence as buying a new one.
And also listening to our customers. That's nothing new, of course. But acting on what they say quickly, that's where AI has given us a real boost. The AI model processes customer feedback, support tickets, product reviews, and survey comments, and produces concise summaries, and run these things daily or weekly, depending on how much data we get. The summaries are also delivered straight to the people who need it. The store managers get the summaries for their store, the regional managers for their region, and for product reviews, we summarize it and send it to our buying and design team so they can spot issues with quality, fit, or other issues. So instead of, feels like a lot of customers are saying X, it's now structured, data-driven, and immediate.
Yes, lovely. Yes, and another topic here, AI-generated product texts. This is one of the areas where AI has been most helpful for us with the product descriptions. And our content team now uses AI as a writing assistant, where new products are added to our range. Then we integrated our AI service to our PIM system. So it pulls out information from several places, and it takes product parameters from our PIN system, and then the garment measurement from another sheet, and then together with flat sketches, we get a suggested product description. The idea is to give the editors a head start and not replacing them. But we also built a translation feature. So once the English version is approved, then the AI can translate it into Swedish, Finnish, Czechish, and so on. And the local team still checks and edits the texts. But instead of starting from scratch here as well, the team now can edit it from a decent draft and get much faster. So the balance we've struck here is that AI does the heavy lifting by combining the data, and humans does the fine-tuning. Customer gets clear, consistent descriptions faster, and our copywriters can still focus on the fun bits and creativity, styling, and brand storytelling. Then we have our e-com production going data sales driven. This is another great example where everything comes together. Our production team manage the daily stores online, how products are optimized, how campaigns are launched, and conversion optimized, of course. And earlier this year, we fully shifted to a fully data-driven team, thanks to Contentsquare and new ways of working. The tool gives them a clear view of how customers actually behave on the site. With AI, it helps to highlight the patterns and spot the friction points. And one concrete example that the team had was that they discovered that many customers actually tried to zoom in on the product images, but they couldn't. So they formulated a hypothesis, prioritized the fix, and quickly launched a new image viewer. And early results showed reduced friction and higher engagement on our PDPs, which is really good. We saw possibilities with this tool. But the challenge here that we saw was that we actually realized that we had to rephrase our KPIs and identify new ones. The friction points or attractiveness rate, these were kind of a new KPIs and goals for us in the team. So we had to create new types of ownership and accountabilities in the current roles and teams. We had to set up new processes, meetings, in order to build governance and embed insights into everyday decision making. So the real point here is that it's not just about better conversion, it's also about a change in the mindset, in the people, in the teams. And Contentsquare is the system, but it's how we incorporate it into our teams, processes, behaviors, and cultures that actually makes the difference.
So, to wrap up, what have we learned about AI on this journey? Well, the tech is amazing. It helps us spot things that we never saw before, whether it's pattern, gaps, or opportunities. But on its own, it doesn't change much. Real change happens when people step in, when we have the courage to try new things, and the creativity to test ideas, and the discipline to make them part of what we do. When people and technology work together, that's when things really shift. It's not about having endless data or the latest tools. It's about giving people the ability to make smarter decisions and move faster and create real value for customers and the business. And that's when real change happens.
And with that said, we want to thank you all for listening.